Did you know that one simple 10-second test can predict whether you'll maintain your independence well into your 80s and 90s? It sounds almost too straightforward to be true, but researchers have discovered that your ability to stand on one leg for just 10 seconds is one of the most reliable indicators of your overall health, balance, and longevity. If you've ever felt that wobble when putting on your shoes, or grabbed the counter a little too quickly when bending down, you're not alone. Millions of seniors experience these moments every single day, and while they might seem like minor inconveniences, they're actually your body's way of sending you an important message. The good news? You have far more control over your balance and strength than you might think, and it's never too late to make remarkable improvements. I remember talking with my neighbor Margaret just last month. She's a vibrant 78-year-old who loves gardening and playing with her grandchildren, but she confided in me that she'd been avoiding certain activities because she was afraid of falling. When I asked her to try the 10-second balance test, she couldn't make it past 4 seconds. She felt discouraged at first, but here's what changed everything. Within just 6 weeks of doing 3 specific exercises, Margaret not only passed that 10-second test with flying colors, but she also felt more confident moving around her home, returned to her beloved garden, and even started taking her grandkids to the park again. Her transformation wasn't magic, and it didn't require expensive equipment or a gym membership. It simply required understanding which exercises truly matter after 80. Today, I'm going to share those same 3 exercises with you, explain exactly why they work so effectively, and show you how to perform them safely in your own home. If you find this information helpful, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel so you never miss our weekly health tips designed specifically for active seniors like you. And I'd absolutely love to hear your experience in the comments below. Have you tried the 10-second balance test? Let's discover together how these 3 simple exercises can transform your confidence and independence. Before we dive into the specific exercises that can change your life, let's take a moment to understand what's really happening in our bodies as we age, because knowledge truly is power when it comes to maintaining our health and vitality. You see, balance isn't just about your legs or your feet, though those certainly play important roles. Balance is actually a beautifully complex symphony involving your inner ear, your vision, your muscles, your joints, and even your brain's ability to process all that information quickly and accurately. Think of it like an orchestra where every instrument needs to play its part perfectly. When we're younger, this orchestra performs flawlessly without us even thinking about it. We hop out of bed, rush downstairs, pivot quickly to catch a grandchild, all without a second thought. But as the years go by, some of those instruments start to lose their tune, and that's when we notice the wobbles and the uncertainty. The 10-second balance test itself is remarkably simple, yet it reveals so much about your overall health status. Here's how it works. You stand on one leg with your other foot raised slightly off the ground, your arms relaxed at your sides, and you try to maintain that position for 10 full seconds without grabbing onto anything or putting your raised foot down. Researchers followed thousands of people over many years and discovered something fascinating. Those who couldn't hold this position for 10 seconds were significantly more likely to experience falls, hospitalizations, and even premature death compared to those who could easily balance for that duration. Now, I don't share this to frighten you, but rather to empower you with information. Because unlike so many aspects of aging that we can't control, balance and strength are things we absolutely can improve with the right approach. Let me tell you about the first exercise that forms the foundation of everything else we're going to discuss today. It's called the sit-to-stand exercise, and while it might sound almost too basic to be effective, this movement is actually one of the most functional and important exercises you can possibly do. Think about how many times each day you stand up from a chair. You do it when you wake up, when you finish a meal, when you've been reading or watching television, when you're getting in and out of the car. Every single one of those movements requires strength in your quadriceps, those large muscles in the front of your thighs, as well as your glutes, your core muscles, and your balance system working in perfect harmony. When these muscles become weak, which happens naturally if we don't challenge them regularly, that simple act of standing becomes increasingly difficult and dangerous. Here's how to perform the sit-to-stand exercise properly and safely. Begin by choosing a sturdy chair without wheels, one that won't slide away from you. The chair should be at a height where your knees are roughly at a 90-degree angle when you're seated. If you need to, you can start with a slightly higher chair and gradually work your way down to a lower one as you get stronger. Sit toward the front edge of the chair with your feet flat on the floor, about hip-width apart. Your toes should point straight ahead or slightly outward, whatever feels most natural and comfortable for you. Now here's the key that many people miss. Lean forward slightly from your hips, not your back, and push through your heels to stand up. Imagine there's a string attached to the top of your head, gently pulling you upward. As you rise, your knees should track over your toes without caving inward. Once you're fully standing, pause for a moment to appreciate that achievement, then slowly lower yourself back down with control. Don't just plop back into the chair. That controlled descent is actually building just as much strength as the standing part, maybe even more. When my friend Robert first started this exercise at age 82, he needed to use his hands on the armrest to push himself up. He felt a bit embarrassed about it, but I reminded him that everyone starts somewhere, and the important thing is that he was starting. Within 2 weeks, he was using just one hand for a light touch of support. A month later, he was doing the movement with his arms crossed over his chest, and after 6 weeks, he was doing sets of 15 repetitions without any assistance at all. The transformation in his daily life was remarkable. He told me that climbing the stairs to his bedroom no longer left him winded, and he could play on the floor with his great-grandchildren without worrying about how he'd get back up. That's the real-world impact of this seemingly simple exercise. Now let's move on to the second exercise, which specifically targets your balance in a way that directly prepares you for that 10-second test, and more importantly, for navigating your daily life with confidence. This exercise is called the tandem stance, sometimes known as the heel-to-toe stand. Picture a tightrope walker at the circus, how they place one foot directly in front of the other in a straight line. That's essentially what we're doing here, though of course, we're safely on the ground with support nearby if needed. This position challenges your balance system in a very specific way because it narrows your base of support significantly compared to standing with your feet apart. To practice the tandem stance safely, position yourself near a wall or sturdy counter where you can reach out for support if necessary.